Hello, a big welcome to Boris Biology class once again. Today we are going to deal with the most important fluid mass of tissue present in human body, that is blood. As you know pretty well that our body requires a transport system. Blood is the medium of transportation along with lymph. In human body, blood is the most important fluid that takes part in the process of transportation of food materials, the respiratory gases and excretory products along with the enzymes. So these are the four major elements that are being transported by blood from one place to the other in human body. Now let us examine the details about the components of blood. Most importantly, the cells. We call them as corpuscles. So the blood cells are called as blood corpuscles. Here we come across the three kinds of blood corpuscles. Number one is the erythrocytes. These are also called as red blood corpuscles. The second, the leukocytes. These are called as white blood corpuscles. And the third is thrombocytes. These are called as platelets. Now let us examine all the details with regards to each of these elements, the erythrocytes, the leukocytes, as well the thrombocytes. Now let's begin with the erythrocytes. Erythrocytes are the red blood corpuscles. These are biconcave elliptical in their shape. These contain hemoglobin over them. This hemoglobin plays a major role in bonding with the respiratory gases, that is oxygen and carbon dioxide. Oxygen, when bonds with the hemoglobin present over these RBCs, forms oxyhemoglobin. It carries the oxygen to all the cells, which is in turn takes part in the process of oxidation of food materials for release of energy. Now, erythrocytes. These erythrocytes are formed in the bone marrow through the process called as erythropoiesis. The preparation or the manufacture or the production of erythrocytes in the bone marrow is called erythropoiesis. Through erythropoiesis, these are generated in the bone marrow and these live for 120 days. So the lifespan is 120 days for erythrocytes. It may range from 110 to 120 at times. It depends. When the person is infected with some ailment or with some pathogens, at times these get killed. Example, the plasmodium, which causes malaria. It kills these red blood corpuscles. Now, the erythrocytes. Once again, the red blood corpuscles are the most important elements that carry the oxygen, carbon dioxide, food and excretory products along with the enzymes to the body parts. Now, these are generally non-nucleated and major cell organelles such as the mitochondria and the Golgi complex, the endoplasmic reticulum are absent normally in the human blood. That is in the RBCs of human blood. But in mammals, generally these are non-nucleated. Only in a camel we find the RBCs of its blood bearing a prominent nucleus. This is an exception. Now let us come over to the concept of leukocytes. Leukocytes are of two kinds, the granulocytes and agranulocytes. Granulocytes means they contain small granules, microgranules made up of the ribonucleic acid, that is RNA. So these RNA forms, these are grouped ribosomes, really, needless to say, these help in the process of offering protection to the body by defending the diseases, defending the body from the attack of diseases or disease causing pathogens. Now, the granulocytes play a major role in countering the pathogenic effect on the body. In a normal individual, the leukocyte count is very low compared to that of a person who is infected. So these are required in lesser quantities. Normally to say these are present in, a minimum quantity. Whenever they are required, that is when there is some infection, then there is an increase in the number of these leukocytes. Now let us examine each and every type of these granulocytes. The first one is acidophils. These are also called as eosinophils. Acidophils are also called as eosinophils. Acidophils are roughly rounded or circular in their shape. They bear a prominent nucleus. Along with that, you find small granules inside the cytoplasm of these acidophils. The nucleus is single, so it bears only one nucleus. Now, the function of these acidophils is to detect the foreign body that enters into the bloodstream. So as and when there is infection into the body, these acidophils detect the pathogen and alarm the body. This is what we say a symptom that is exhibited out. So symptoms are caused when acidophils are activated. Now basophils. Basophils are also roughly elliptical or rounded in shape. These bear a bilobed nucleus. These nuclei are attached by means of a bridge-like structure. So here a bilobed nucleus is present in the basophils. So why we call them acidophils, basophils and neutrophils is these cells called as eosinophils or acidophils can be identified by using an acidic strain. So normally to identify, we use some strains. These strains, they give out some colors. So acidic strains are used to find out these cells and hence they are called as acidophils. Then basophils. These can be identified by using the bases in strains. Now basophils are bilobed, they contain bilobed nucleus. These basophils play a major role in countering the attack of the pathogens on the individual inside the blood. These group together around, that is, they engulf the pathogen and restrict the movement of the pathogen from entering into the organs. So this creates an infringement in the movement of these pathogens into the body. So they fight against the pathogens by restricting the free movement of the pathogens in the bloodstream. Now coming to the point of neutrophils, these are the real heroes. We call them as microscopic policemen. By the name itself it indicates these are the real wrestlers and the warriors. These fight against the pathogens. These are multinucleated. That is, these are multi-lobed nuclei are present here in these neutrophils. These neutrophils are roughly circular or rounded in shape. They bear multi-lobed nuclei and inside the cytoplasm you find the granules. These three constitute the granulocytes. Here neutrophils, they attack the pathogens and they kill the pathogens. In one word to say, the enzymes released by these neutrophils dissolve the pathogens. Literally to say, they kill. That is, they sabotage the pathogens and restore the health inside the body. Hence we call them as microscopic policemen or the body's frontline defense. So these three are very important in countering the diseases that occur in the body. Now these are the second type. We call them as agranulocytes. Means these cells don't have any granules in their cytoplasm. Here these are the first one are the lymphocytes. These are most important for the neutrophils because these lymphocytes, they have a kidney shaped or a bean shaped nucleus in them. These help in feeding the neutrophils. So these serve the purpose of providing nutrition to these neutrophils. That is, they provide energy for the neutrophils to work upon the pathogens, to kill the pathogens. So the energy is supplied by these lymphocytes in conditions of acquired immunodeficiency syndrome infection, that is AIDS. when AIDS virus HIV enters into the bloodstream, it mercilessly kills on the lymphocytes. Thereby, the neutrophils become inactive for want of energy, because the food providers or the energy providers such as lymphocytes are mercilessly killed. As such, these neutrophils suffer with lack of energy. Now, finally, the monocytes. These are the biggest of all the blood cells. Monocytes are the largest cells with the largest nucleus. They bear a maximum sized nucleus in them. We don't find any granules in the monocytes. As such, these monocytes are capable of cleansing the blood. So during the process of fight between the blood cells, that is neutrophils, and the pathogens, most of the pathogens are killed and some of the neutrophils get killed by the pathogenic effect. And those killed organisms or organic substances which are remaining in the blood are cleansed by the monocytes. So this is the process of cleaning the blood. Hence these are called as scavengers of the blood. So these are the scavengers inside the body that cause the cleansing process. So here the neutrophils are the microscopic policemen, I repeat once again, and the monocytes are the scavengers in the body. So these two are the most important of the leukocytes. Now, finally, the thrombocytes. The thrombocytes are formed by the prothrombin protein that is released inside the body. This prothrombin forms the thrombocytes. These thrombocytes are also called as platelets. They come together, they get together, they gather together to heal the wound. So in the process of healing a wound, a plug formation takes place over the superficial layer of the body or the skin, where it is exposed when it is wounded. These wounds are covered by the thrombocytes. These thrombocytes get together, they cover the body, and they prevent the infection of the pathogens into the body. So the entry of the pathogens is restricted by the formation of plug by these thrombocytes. Hence, these three types of cells are very, very important for our body. These are present in the blood. And then the most important thing is the plasma, that is the liquid part of the blood, which is colorless. It contains several elements such as proteins, carbohydrates, and some other elements such as the what we can say vitamins and others, which are very much responsible. Even salts are also present. Some elements which are present inside the blood help these elements to thrive. And then the serum, that is also a constituent of blood, is the thin filmy layer that is dull white in color, that is formed over the blood clot. So when blood is exposed to air, it will clot, and this clot will result in the formation of a thin filmy layer over the surface. This is called a serum. So we will talk about those details in the next class to come, maybe in the next video. And I hope you have enjoyed this beautiful session with regards to the blood. And for more details, we shall make another video. Then until then, take care. This is Smoley signing off.